Good afternoon and welcome to Taking Cuts. I am your host, Ethan Blumenthal. We have a great show planned for you today. Later on, we will have UFC featherweight champion Conor McGregor on set, which should be pretty fun, though I know he will be a little bit late as he has a personal rule that he has to talk shit to every single person that he sees. So while we wait on him to warm up his vocal cords, let's get started by taking a look at the world in sports this past week. In his first professional at-bat, on the very first pitch, former NFL quarterback Tim Tebow took a 91-mile-an-hour fastball off a lefty and hit an opposite field dinger. Now, when I first heard that, I thought to myself, God damn it, is he really going to prove everyone wrong and succeed at this absurd venture? Who really knows at this point? But when I clicked on the article and saw he went 1 for 6 in the game, I was reassured of my stance on the issue. Congrats, Tim, but it's a long season. Speaking of terrible NFL quarterbacks, Jay Cutler is still completing passes to the other team and still dropping the football on the ground as often as his drunk college freshman drops their brand new iPhone 7. Does Jay Cutler know how mad his dad would be if the football was actually an iPhone 7 and he had to keep buying him a new one? Good thing the football isn't an iPhone 7 and instead it's just a ball, which he happens to be paid $126.7 million to not drop on the ground. Jay Cutler's possible final year with the Chicago Bears is off to a rough start, sporting the 27th ranked quarterback rating out of 32 NFL quarterbacks. That's bad. And leading the Chicago Bears to an 0-3 start. Now, it's not all his fault, but boy is he fun to pick on. And you know why he's so fun to pick on? Because Jay Cutler, besides the aforementioned constant fumbling of the football, he never smiles. Ever. No matter what. Don't you think it might be kind of hard to build confidence as his teammate when every time you walk into a huddle or a team meeting, you always have to look at Jay Cutler, who is undoubtedly making this face? Now, I'm a big believer in letting your play do the talking, okay? But every now and then, might it help to have a little fun with the guys, you know? I mean, can't you just imagine Alshon Jeffrey going into the locker room and telling the funniest joke ever? While everyone is rolling on the ground, cracking up, Jay's in the corner like, yo guys, I don't get it. It's a joke, Jay, alright? You're supposed to laugh a little bit. Life isn't so bad. Hey Jay, guess what? You make a ton of money. Okay? You're married to the most attractive human in Chicago. Okay? You have 3 cute, healthy children. See? Nothing. Everyone should be a little tired of the hating on Colin Kaepernick kneeling for the anthem saga by now. Personally, I'm exhausted from it. Not exhausted enough to not talk about it here, but pretty damn tired of it. There are those who say, it's a good cause, but I just don't like the way he's going about it. And then those opposite who say, you get mad when people have violent protests, you get mad when people simply take a knee. What is the right way to protest? I'm glad you asked. Because kneeling is obviously too much for this country, I have a few other ideas. But why let me talk when we could find some random opinionated people on the street who may know the very best ways to protest? We send you to our senior field reporter, David Kaplinsky, to find out what they have to say.
Thank you, Ethan. Martin Luther King, Rosa Parks, Jesse Owens, O.J. Simpson, and now Colin Kaepernick. These are the names who have defined protests in this country for the last 100 years. But is there a better way to protest? To find out, we do as George Washington recommended, ask the people. What is your opinion on Colin Kaepernick kneeling during the national anthem?
I think it's great. I think he should kneel, and it's important what he's doing.
I just think he's a spoiled brat. He just wants his pension.
I have your opinion about it, but the Constitution gave him the right to do that.
Being patriotic is one thing, and being a protester is another.
I think protest is of course good in terms of showing what you think.
Is there anything else he could do to protest his own people being violently gunned down by police?
I don't really know what to say about that.
To organize, to create a collective.
That's not my place to say. I think he has a wide audience and he's reaching that audience.
Have a mission statement. It needs to be very clear about what their agenda is.
Sure. Do you think Rosa Parks had a mission statement?
What did he do? He's kneeling down. What's he gonna do? Bow down next game? Is that?
Bow.
So
do you think like he could do somewhere between a kneel and a bow, like a sort of like that?
Yeah, why not? I mean, he already chose to sit.
You don't think that people might be less offended if he just kind of bent to about the waist height? And maybe he just like put his head down or to the side, or just kind of, I don't know, maybe he could squat down instead of kneeling. Would that still be?
That's inappropriate.
Maybe he could just like do a kick, kick for racial injustice, kicking down the doors of racial injustice. What do you think about that?
Not
What
much
if he
left.
stood but with his hands just straight up in the air, like reaching for the stars for a better world? Some people think that maybe if he just curled up in the fetal position, that might be more appropriate. Are you offended by this?
When you do it, it's slightly offensive, but I think if Colin Kaepernick did it, I wouldn't be offended.
It's because I'm white, right? So, like, if he happened to, like kneel, in front of his home, like on his own time, would that be more appropriate? Maybe outside of the football field?
Absolutely.
So just like if he kneeled like over at the
more
corner of
in
Addison
context,
and
I believe.
Halstead?
Right.
If he's kneeling,
Sure. Or if he just did a squat.
don't matter.
They wake up in the morning, every day you put on your clothes and you put on your underwear, but some people are putting them on inside out to protest against racial injustice. Now, people don't get to see that, but people feel the protest that they're doing all day. What do you think about that?
I always put my panties on backwards.
That seems about right.
And I have actually been running with my Black Lives Matter tank top on up Lake Shore.
Bold.
And I'm doing the New Orleans Marathon in February.
I'm from New Orleans.
Black History Month is February.
I started Black History Month.
Did you? Oh my God.
Let's not talk about what he's doing.
Sure.
Let's talk about why he's doing it. Once we get that, then we got somewhere.
To make a stand, you have to take a knee, and I really think what he's doing is awesome. And I don't know what I would suggest he do differently.
Great. We need to put that on a banner to take a stand. You need to take a knee. Well, there you have it, Ethan. The people have spoken loud and clear, and I think George Washington would be proud of us. Maybe. But even though the people have spoken so clearly, I will still try to summarize what they said. Protest is a form of American liberty, and you should do it maybe while in a certain position. Maybe if you don't offend the inside the stadium, because police are Black Lives and USA. Back to you.
Great stuff, David. And I actually just saw Conor McGregor outside the studio, but unfortunately, he's super busy talking mad shit to a pool right now. So maybe we can get him on next week. Thank you so much for joining us. Until next time, thank you so much.